Hello everyone, welcome back to another Beatles update video. This is going to be another pretty big haul that I've gotten through the past couple weeks here. Some of them been online purchases and most of them have been some record stores, and including one that I was on vacation, which was a very nice record store, and I'll mention them a little bit later. But I'll start off with the online purchases here. They're going to be two Beatles 45s from Germany. And the first one I'm going to show is Yellow Submarine with Eleanor Rigby. And it is on the green Odeon label, released in 1966. So that's what the label will look like. And there's the B side, or the double A side. And next one from Germany is going to be She Loves You with I'll Get You in the artist sleeve, company sleeve there. So that's nice. And this is also, these two are on the one poster that I've been trying to fill out here. So, and there's the back side. Label's a little torn there, but the artist sleeve is in nice shape. So those were the only online purchases. I'll go to another record stores. One of my local record stores had a few Beatles 45s in, including this Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You picture sleeve here. And I already have one, but this one was on the black label, which I did not have. So it was a good price for the picture sleeve, so I decided to pick it up because I did not have the black label. This one was released in 1964. And the next one was also released in 1964. And this, of course, is I Saw Her Standing There, backed with I Want to Hold Your Hand. And now this one is a Gill Music Corp pressing, as you can see right here. I have two other ones that are the first and second pressing, so this is the third pressing. So I got this for like $1. So it was good to have that variation. And the next one here is Can't Buy Me Love, backed with You Can't Do That. Now this one is a second pressing because it says the word limited underneath, yeah, right there, and that indicates that that's a second pressing, and this is a Scranton, Pennsylvania pressing as well. And that also goes, I do have the original picture sleeve with it, but the record was a Rockaway pressing, and I believe the Scranton pressings go with the original picture sleeve. So I kind of picked that up to make the picture sleeve complete. And let's see. So that's pretty much all the record store finds from that one. Now I'm going to show you next here the record store I went to. I was on vacation. Here's a sticker. It's called Vintage Fort Worth Records. And now this store is very nice. It's very organized. In terms of Beatles albums, he had a lot of 45s and LPs. Some of the US pressings to me seemed a little on the higher end, but he also had a lot of unique imports and stuff like that that seemed to be very priced fair. And as long as some picture sleeves and the 45s, there were good prices there. Yeah, it was a very good record store, and I highly recommend checking them out if you're in the Fort Worth area in Florida. So I'll start off, since I got all the 45s here, I'll start off with the 45s. Now, these two picture sleeves I got for $2 each. So here is Paperback Writer in Rain, and this is a West Coast pressing because it has the little tab right here, and it's on the orange and yellow capital label. And this is a West Coast pressing because Paperback Writer is on 2 lines, and the credits here are a little bit spaced out. So that's how you can tell West Coast from East Coast if you're just looking by the record itself, by the line, how songs are broken up into different lines, and the spacing of the credits. So I had the East Coast version, now I got a West Coast. So that was good to pick up for a couple bucks. And this one is Do You Want to Know a Secret with Thank You Girl. And again, it's kind of hard to see. This is a little beat up, but it has the little indentation tab up top. And it's a little beat up, but again, for $2, it was a good price. And I also did not have this label variation on the VJ label there. So I was happy to pick this up for sure. So those were just the only two. Well, I actually have one more. He had like a generic box of 45s that were $2 for picture sleeves and $1 for generic records. So those two were in the generic bin, as well as this one. This is John Lennon, Instant Karma with Who Has Seen the Wind. And now this picture sleeve's in really nice shape. It is pretty much clean as it can be for being a white picture sleeve. No really wing wear from the record itself. And here is the label here. And the B-side. And this is a Jacksonville pressing. So again, for a couple dollars, I didn't have this picture sleeve for the record, so I was happy to pick it up for sure. Now these last two, he had he had a behind the counter box of 45s, and he had some more expensive items there, but still not crazy amount. So I picked up a few things from there. This is the Beatles' Twist and Shout. Promotional, released in 1986. This was in accordance with the Ferris Bueller Day Off movie. So just a nice white promotional copy. This is not an expensive record. It's like $5. So it's just, you know, promotional. It's nice to have. So. And the last 45 from his record store was Let It Be with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number on the back side here. As you can tell, it is on yellow gold vinyl here, part of the Jukebox series in 1994. So I'm glad to add another one of the series into the collection for a pretty good price. Now, he also had a very good LPs here, so I'll show you all the albums I picked up. I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 albums here. The one I'm most excited about is this one with the Beatles. Now this is a German pressing in stereo. It's got the sticker here. It says stereo and the gold kind of sticker there. And this is a first pressing on the white, red, and gold Odeon label. It's a little beat up, but the price was fair enough, which I decided to buy it. I did not have this one, and to find it in stereo is nice as well. The record's again a little beat up, but the actual sleeve itself, the cover, is in not bad of shape at all. It's got a nice lamination to it, so maybe a little bit of water damage there, but nothing major at all. So I was happy to pick that one up for sure. I have a few German first pressings, so I'm happy to have the early one as well. So Next one here is a Let It Be. Now this one's an interesting record. As you can see by the lamination, it is a UK pressing, but on the back here it has the Parlophone label, which indicates this is an export pressing. Unfortunately, it is not on the Parlophone label. It is on the regular Apple label here, but it is a UK first pressing. Here's the B-side. And this one has the 773-3U matrix on it instead of the 1U or the 2U. This one's a 3U matrix. So again, it was a pretty fair price for it, and I kind of like interesting, unique exported albums and imports in general. So it was a pretty cool record for me to find. Now the next couple records here are solo Beatles. First two I'm going to show you are John Lennon solo, or John Lennon and Yoko Ono, but this was released during the time the Beatles were still together, and I don't really see these often in record stores. This is the first time I've ever seen one in a record store, and this is Two Virgins by John Lennon and Yoko Ono. I won't show you the main picture, I just rather not show that. There's the back, and as you can see, it has the original sticker that sealed the album here. And the record here is on Apple. There we go. And here's the B-side. I listened to it just because I haven't heard what it is or what it was. Yeah, I obviously did not buy this for the music of it, as it is titled Unfinished Music, and it's just John Lennon and Yoko Ono just jamming, I guess you can say. It's avant-garde for sure, but it's kind of a unique album that you just kind of get for the cover and the story behind it. And it was released in 1968, which is interesting with the Beatles still being a band. So it's kind of one of those records necessarily you don't get for the music. And then I had to get Unfinished Music number 2. And this one is on the Zapple label here. Show you the record. I haven't played this one, but I'm guessing it's going to be more avant-garde stuff. So there's the Zapple label. Yeah. I haven't seen these in any record stores, and they were cheap enough, so I decided to pick them up because they're still, again, in the Beatles time frame, so I don't really see them as solo albums, maybe just more solo projects, I guess you can say. And then since I bought all those records from that record store, he decided me to give like a $10 record for free. So I decided to pick up Paul McCartney's Tug of War, and this is in the original shrink wrap with the hype sticker, so that kind of sold me on picking this one out for sure. And there's the back, and it has the original inner sleeve here. There you go, with all the lyrics and picture there. And it's on the Columbia label, and the record is pretty much near minty. So it's good to have a good condition album like this, for sure. And that's all I picked up from that one record store. I was very pleased indeed to pick up all that good stuff from him. And I think, again, his prices are fair. I think some of the US pressings could be a little bit cheaper. He seems to price things based on condition. But again, it's a good time. Everything's organized. It's easy to look through, and it's just a good store. And now my final batch of Beatles records includes one that always seemed to escape me ever finding one. And this goes all the way back to the first time I ever went to a record store. I found this album right here. Beatlemania, Canadian record right here. First album released in North America. And when I found this the first time I went to a record store in where I used to live before I moved, I didn't know what it was because I was very new to collecting Beatles, and I thought it was like some unofficial bootleg or something like that. So I passed on it. It was like $12. I was very, yeah, I don't know what I was doing, but I went back and did some research on it, and I just discovered that it was a Canadian album, first pressing, and that was pretty cool. And the next time I would go back to a record store, I would buy it. But as you can imagine, when I went back there, it wasn't there. So all those years ago, probably about 7 or 8 years now, still haven't found one until today, or when I found it at a record store. So this one is a first pressing, and this particular pressing has the number up here, and has Canada. It does not have Canada in brackets on the let's see if I can get it for you guys here. On the bottom rim text in kind of blue, it has Canada on the rim, and some other pressings have Canada in parentheses, and some don't have the number in the top right corner. So that's just some Beatles variations, but I was just happy to finally get one in my collection. So that was a long time coming, and believe it or not, now I've found two in the past 2 weeks. So it's funny how stuff like that happens. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit long of video, but I have a couple more records here. Next one, we got Abbey Road, and this is a UK pressing from 1976, which makes it a 5th pressing, so a little bit later, but it's in really nice shape. I got a good deal on it, and it is on the Apple label. On the lighter Apple label here. Again, really nice shape. I just kind of wanted, I do have a first pressing Abbey Road. Kind of wanted to compare the two, especially when this one's in nicer shape and a different pressing. Okay. Next one is kind of a filler. Got the White Album. This is a 1976 Capitol reissue. Had the portraits. I got this for like $2. And so I won't go into detail, but yeah, that's the label it's on. It is a Winchester pressing from 1976, and I'm just looking for different variations and pressings for US albums, and when I see some for cheap, I usually try to pick them up. And the last record I got for you guys today is George Harrison's 33 1/3 album here. Again, picked it up for a few dollars, so it comes with the inner sleeve. And this one is a Jacksonville pressing. And that about does it for this pretty big Beatles update and haul. There's the gatefold. And I will try to get to making some videos. I'm going to try to do a room tour of what I have behind me and kind of my record player setup. And I'll try to make a Beatles collection video. It'll probably be a lot of parts, but I have to go back to college in a few weeks, so I'll probably just record them all in one day and send out all the videos, probably about a week by week basis. Again, I have about 4 or 5 crates of just Beatles albums, and then I have 6 crates of 45s of picture sleeves, and from all over the country. And I will definitely try to get a room tour before I leave as well. So thank you for sticking around if you made it this far. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.